In this world, the people closest to us often feel like the safest allies, friends we can trust without hesitation. But in the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene warns us against this comfortable assumption. Today, we're diving into law number 2. Never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. This law may sound harsh, even cynical, but its wisdom lies in the unpredictable nature of human relationships and the lessons that history teaches us time and again. Friends, by their very nature, can be deceptive. Not because they intend to betray you, but because they can be swayed by emotions that even they may not understand. Feelings like envy, entitlement, or simply a sense of comfort can cloud a friend's judgment. They know your strengths and weaknesses, and they may overstep boundaries thinking their closeness gives them a right to push those limits. The history of friendships is filled with cases of misplaced trust leading to disappointment, betrayal, or even outright sabotage. Why is it that friends are often the ones who can hurt us the most? The answer lies in familiarity. When someone becomes too familiar, they may take your kindness for granted, or worse, exploit your trust for their own gain. Sometimes they feel they don't need to prove themselves anymore. Comfort breeds complacency, and complacency can breed betrayal. Now let's turn to the second part of this law, the counterintuitive idea of using enemies. This may sound cold, but Greene's point is rooted in a deep understanding of human motivation. Enemies, unlike friends, have a reputation to overturn and a desire to prove themselves. A former adversary, aware of the tensions that once existed, has more incentive to be loyal because they know the stakes. They have to work harder to win your trust, and because of that, they are often more reliable than those who are close to you by default. Take, for example, the story of the legendary Renaissance statesman Cesare Borgia. Borgia was surrounded by courtiers who flattered him, seeking favor and wealth. But he knew that a friend's loyalty was a fragile thing. Instead, he often sought alliances with former foes, giving them positions of power and trust. By turning adversaries into allies, he gained people who were loyal not out of comfort, but out of necessity. They had something to prove, and betrayal was not an option if they wanted to survive. In ancient China, the philosopher and military strategist Han Fei warned against relying too much on friends. He argued that enemies are often more useful because they have to work to earn your favor, unlike friends who already have it and might misuse it. A friend's betrayal can come from envy, while a former enemy knows that a second betrayal could cost them everything. So enemies keep their word not out of kindness, but out of a sense of survival. The essence of this law is about keeping your emotions in check and understanding the unpredictable nature of people. It's not about abandoning friendships or shunning trust. It's about recognizing that trust should be earned, not freely given. A wise person doesn't close the door on enemies. Instead, they remain open to the potential transformation of a relationship, turning rivalries into partnerships when it benefits them. But this approach requires balance. You shouldn't treat all friends with suspicion, nor should you blindly embrace former enemies. What you need is awareness, a strategic mindset that separates emotions from practicality. When you trust someone, ask yourself, what have they done to earn this trust? And when you forgive an enemy, make sure their new loyalty is tied to your success, not just to words and empty promises. There's a deep irony in power dynamics. The people we are most comfortable with can be the ones who pose the greatest threat. On the other hand, those who once opposed us may become our strongest supporters. This isn't about paranoia. It's about understanding that loyalty is often transactional. It's about keeping a clear view of people's motivations, even when those motivations are uncomfortable to face. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Be cautious with those who are close, and don't dismiss the power of a transformed enemy. Use the motivations of others to your advantage, and you'll find that the path to power is clearer, less vulnerable, and more secure. So next time you find yourself relying heavily on a friend, take a step back and assess. Is their loyalty genuine, or have they become too comfortable? And if you have enemies, don't burn the bridge too quickly. Sometimes the most reliable support can come from those who were once your greatest adversaries. In the game of power, nothing is static, and the people you trust today may not be the ones you can rely on tomorrow. If you found this analysis of law number 2 insightful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more wisdom from history's greatest strategists. Until next time, stay wise and stay strategic.